Avast, space monkeys, it is I, the Warhammer 40K Emperor, known as the OGGM, broadcasting live from a small island off the coast of Sigmar. What? Because it's Tuesday, and we've started this new Warhammer Tuesday thing, so what's going on this week in the exciting world of Games Workshop and Warhammer 40K? It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes, I know my day is all off because of not having power and other things, but yeah, we're catching up. All right, so here's what's going on this week with Games Workshop and Warhammer 40K. So Warhammer 40K Games Workshop is having a huge preview online called the Not Warhammer 40K preview. What's it about? Warhammer 40K. There's a new edition coming out of Warhammer 40K. It's just been released as we speak. It's got revamped rules. It's a massive box filled with new miniatures, which means all of you who have built Warhammer 40K armies now have to completely rethink. This shouldn't be a new thing to you because this happens, according to my Warhammer 40K fans, like every 3 months. So the fact that there's a new Warhammer 40K coming out with the preview starting on July 1st should be no surprise to you. So, yep, forget everything you know because they just changed it. It's blah, blah, blah. There are other Warhammer 40 games out there besides 40K, so they've decided to allow you to get a look at what else is going on in the world of Games Workshop besides 40K by doing not only a preview of the new 40K, but sort of just doing a huge online preview of everything Warhammer. So this includes Age of Sigmar, House of Heresy, Warcry, Warhammer Underworld, which is older than I thought it was, Warhammer the Old World, and of course the Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game. So huge preview, huge new stuff on the Twitch channel, whole bunch of new stuff about the new story and what's going on with, the Space Marines and the Space Orcs and the Space Sandwiches and Chaos and the Tau, and I don't know. I'm just tossing out words that I've heard, like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Warhammer. I just know I can't paint the figures. I played twice and I kind of enjoyed it, but not really. But yeah, so congratulations all you guys. If you want to check this out, it is online, but now I think. And it will be continuing online throughout the world, slowly crossing the continents between Europe and America. And here's all the times if you want to see this weird little presentation. And I assume there'll be coupons and sales associated with it on the site, plus previews of all the new figures and previews of anything changing that's going on with Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. Yeah, remember there is a Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay role-playing game, and there is a Warhammer 40K role-playing game. So yeah, I mean, those two don't really get as much attention as they should, but then, they're also bloody expensive. But yeah, so here we go. Warhammer, so much Warhammer, more Warhammer than you could shake a Warhammer at. And we've got some previews because it can't be a Warhammer Tuesday without seeing the latest stuff and really cool toys. So let's see. So here's this week's preview. We've got Dawnbringers for the Age of Sigmar. This is called Book 1 Hairbringers. It's the first chapter of the new Dawnbringers series, the prologue to an epic tale that tells of the twin-tailed crusaders as it marches out from Hammerhall. So is this an adventure or a book? It contains the new Path of Glory battle pack centered around recruiting Hairbringers and establishing communication outposts, as well as rules for the 4 new Hairbringer heroes and each regiment of renown that fights alongside them. Oh, so it's for Age of Sigmar. It's for one of the miniature games. And this guy is armed with a bell that is also, I think, supposed to be a halberd, except it's curved. Did you use AI art to make this, guys? Because we know AI art has a problem with hands and things in hands. And this horse's tail has got a fishing hook hanging from it. And it's obviously the horse has got some chaos infection. But yeah, can you imagine this guy just charging down at you in combat and swinging at you with a bell on a stick? Sure, maybe. I don't know. I don't think that would work. But there's, if you look at the history of weapons, they've put some weird shit on sticks over the years. So maybe not. And then there's also going to be a limited edition version too, which will be more expensive and have more art and be more glossy and stuff like that. We've also got something for Age of Sigmar called the General's Handbook, Pitched Battles 2023, 2024. It's a new battle pack focusing on the primal magic of the wild tundras of Andor. It's, I guess, sort of like a calendar / notebook / battle tracker place where you can put your any rules changes that, or house rules. Basically, it's an overblown notebook. And we've got a new army. These are called the Dawn Ringers, Friar Slayers, Fjorge Flame Bearers. So these are obviously a bunch of guys that lock like fire. These look like they could possibly be passed as dwarves. Definitely dwarves. Can we get a close-up of this, please? No, we can't. Okay. So, yeah, we've got a whole bunch of dwarves doing dwarvy stuff. These would be great for any game that has dwarves in it, not just, Warhammer. They're all wearing ridiculous helmets, but sure, why not? I guess, supposed to make them look more friendly, frightening, or those are the Mohawks, because I know dwarves and Mohawks are a thing in Warhammer. Obviously fantasy, based upon all the various weapons we see, except for this guy's got some kind of space ray gun. But everybody else has got various maces and flails and hammers and axes and double axes. And why is it they kind of all look like horses? I don't know if that's intentional. This guy's slightly taller than the rest, or he's standing on something, though that must be the commander. And this guy's got a periscope or a hearing aid. I'm not sure. And then we have something called the Gloom Sprite Gits. These are the goblin types of Warhammer. I love these guys. I love the little, whatever these things are called. I love the Warhammer goblins, just, riding on these little weird monsters, charging into combat. Here's one who's like, nope, I'm just going to ride this mushroom. That can't be any worse. Looks like some kind of goblin caster over here. I don't know what this is. This guy's a weird looking mutant goblin carrying bottles. I guess they ride these weird things into combat, which is just awesome. I love the Warhammer goblins. They're just crazy. I can never paint them that well. And then we've got something called the Flesh Eater Courts. And these look like undead? Undead, yes. Or maybe trolls. Or, yeah, I mean, these are zombies, obviously, or ghouls. And then, I don't know what these are. Larger ghouls? And winged ghouls? Maybe vampires? I'd use them as ghouls. And then we have the Maggotkin of Nurgle. Nurgle, the disease lord, I believe, if I remember my Warhammer thing. And they've got guys flying in on some kind of insect. That's cool. I don't know how reliable insect air cavalry would be, but sure. And then we've got this Hairbringer guy again. So these guys are obviously doing some chaos, disease, mutation, Nurgle type nonsense. And here's another guy, and he's just got a bell. I don't know how that would work. I mean, sure, like any heavy object you put on a stick, it would work for the first time, right? Because you're just hitting somebody with a very heavy object, and I guess the sound of the bell is kind of intimidating, but, I don't know how combat ready a bell is. I mean, how many blows would it survive? But I suppose you don't care, because you're just basically wielding a big hunk of metal. And if you're strong enough to wield something that large and heavy, then you're more relying on your strength than the fact that it's a bell. And then it's for the first 2 rounds. It's cool because it's frightening and he's swinging a bell and it's disorientating. But then now she's just, after 1 or 2 blows, it's just a big crumpled piece of metal on a stick that's very unwieldy. But who cares? Blood Bowl! We already talked about this one. This is the new Blood Bowl expansion, taking Blood Bowl to the streets. So now the Blood Bowl kids can play as well as the Blood Bowl adults. And you can have all sorts of new Blood Bowl scenarios playing out in the streets of your favorite fantasy city. And then we've got a new team for Blood Bowl. We've got the Old World Alliance Blood Bowl team. This is called the Middenheim Maulers. And these look like just sort of a random sampling of different individuals. We got some dwarves. We got some maybe halflings. We got some humans, possibly. Just a general all-around, well-balanced Blood Bowl team. Then we have the Blood Bowl team card packs. This is all the cards for the individuals that you see below. I don't understand the game enough to know what the cards mean, but it probably has something to do with tactics and stuff like that. Then we got the Underworld Creepers, which I guess are look like rat people and a couple goblins. See, these I could use for any game. I like these guys. And look at this thing, the little hand coming out of the ground. I guess that's supposed to be a spell or something. That's awesome. Sure, these guys are technically a Blood Bowl, but look at them. You could use them for anything. So that's cool. Maybe not these guys. These guys do look little football sports centric, but the rat guys, they would pass for anything. And then they also come with a team card pack. Target is getting in on the Space Marine thing. We have a Target exclusive coming out called Space Marines the board game, which means the only place you'll be able to get this for a while is Target. And then from the Black Library, we've got a new series coming out called The Children of Teakles. We've got the Chronicles of the Wanderer. And then, of course, we've had the thing I just talked about, the Warhammer, not Warhammer, 40K big preview starting on July 1st. Yes, spend $50 for a notebook. You can get them for 99 cents. So there you go. There's today's Warhammer 40K Games Workshop news. If you want to see me continue to take a look at this every Tuesday, let me know. If you don't want me to cover this ever again, let me know. You let me know what you want to see as we go into the second half of the year and start speeding down towards the holidays. Congratulations, Warhammer 40K fans. There's a new rule set, which means you got to start all over again. Yay. Till next time, I'm the OG GM. If you appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, bam, why not? Please subscribe. Help me hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya. Warhammer Games Workshop.